Rosala lives in the west of Sri Lanka. She's been in this camp for 14 years, unable to return to her home because of the 20-year civil war. She's one of millions of people worldwide displaced within their own country. This life programme looks at these forgotten people and the challenges they face to rebuild their lives. Rosala is just one of 25 million people internally displaced because of conflict in over 50 countries around the world. Citizens fleeing from civil wars or ethnic cleansing or other conflicts within the borders of their own countries, forced to abandon their homes and livelihoods, losing their possessions, becoming separated from family and friends. These people are often denied even basic necessities. They are among the poorest, most vulnerable, and most forgotten people in the world. While national governments are responsible for assisting and protecting displaced people, at times they're unable or unwilling to do so. At times, they might even be responsible for their displacement. The numbers of internally displaced people, or IDPs, are growing. Increasingly, their plight is demanding international attention.
Too much attention goes to one or two very political conflicts, and all the others are forgotten. When there is an international war and when there are international refugees, there is a lot of attention, always. When there is an internal ongoing problem, they tend to be forgotten. But we should remember, these people suffer more as civilians than in most wars. The internally displaced are the forgotten and neglected people in the forgotten and neglected emergencies around the world.
Displacement from your land and your home is distressing for somebody displaced 10 miles or to another country. So the circumstances they find themselves in are very much the same. The international legal support that they receive, of course, is different, in that refugees do have rights under international law that IDPs do not enjoy. They're incredibly vulnerable, and they've lost a lot of their own self-confidence. They've lost a lot of their own possessions. They're dependent on others to help them, and they're quite often having to live in appalling conditions.
Sri Lanka, holiday destination and tropical paradise. But away from the tourist beaches, to the north and east of the country, Sri Lanka has been torn apart by a complex and bloody civil war between government forces and the liberation tigers of Tamil Eelam, known as the LTTE. The roots of the conflict go back to attempts by the Sinhalese-dominated government in 1956 to check what they saw as the excessive influence of the Tamils during the colonial era. Over the years, the failure of Tamil political parties to reach a peaceful settlement with the Sinhalese majority led to demands for their own independent Tamil state, and a militant movement, the Tamil Tigers, dedicated to achieving this goal.
Attention!
Over 60,000 people have been killed, and over 800,000 forced to flee their homes during the conflict. A ceasefire was finally agreed 2 years ago, and the fighting stopped. Yet, as Sri Lanka no longer at war, is not yet a country at peace. And whilst 360,000 people have returned, more than half the families displaced by the fighting are still unable to return home because of the uncertainties of the situation.